I said in one of my videos that saving, spending and making money are all the same things. A subscriber asked me to explain in more detail what I meant. So I decided to make a small series of very simple short videos explaining what I meant. This is video number 2. What you are seeing is me walking around downtown Chicago. It was kind of cold when I filmed this video, and this is why there are not a lot of people walking. When it gets warm, the streets will be filled with people. They say that 80% of new businesses will fail within their first 2 years. This is 100% not true. This is wrong. The reason why this is wrong is because there are no source or combination of sources that can provide this information. I had to make this video number 2 because every time I hear this, it pisses me off. I thought we had gotten rid of this misconception in the late 1980s. You have a lot of people out there pretending to be business experts, and they are giving bad advice. They are a bunch of con men or swindlers. I remember this one so-called business expert, named Joe, who worked for the state of Arizona. He said he once owned a business. He said for his business, he used a control growth strategy. I was like, what does that mean? If you have a business and you usually sell 20, but someone comes in and wants to buy 100. Then you will not sell them the 100 because this will make your business grow too quickly. And you want to control the growth of your business. What if a major company such as Google or Starbucks asked you to become a supplier? Are you going to say no because you want to control the growth of your business? Many people follow these so-called business experts because what they say sounds reasonable. However, when you sit down and think about what they are saying, you discover that it is full of holes. In fact, the best investment you can make is opening a business. It is better than stocks, bonds or real estate. Plus, here in the United States, if you have a job, and if your business does not make money or loses money, you will still make money. This will be the next video. Today, this misconception is coming from the United States Small Business Administration, or the SBA for short. The United States Small Business Administration is an independent agency of the United States government that provides support to entrepreneurs and small businesses. The Small Business Administration is also a non-profit organization. All of this means is that they do not have the money to hire the best data or financial analysts. In the late 1980s, someone else published a similar report. It also said that 80% of new businesses will fail within their first 2 years. Then top business schools college professors asked for a copy of his data. They discovered that his man did not conduct a complete analysis of the data. This is the same thing the Small Business Administration is doing today. You cannot only look at numbers on a spreadsheet and figure out if a business was a failure. The only way to figure out if a business failed is to talk to the owner of the business. Most small businesses start with one owner, or what is called a sole proprietorship. This can be a man working out of his home selling products through the mail. It can also be a house cleaning service, an auto shop, a small manufacturer or anything similar. A sole proprietorship can be one person or have hundreds of employees. Most of the time, when a person starts a business, he does not know about all of his legal exposure or requirements. This includes taxes. Plus, he might not have the money to pay for everything he needs, such as a business license. He might not have realized he needed a business license or needed to fulfill other legal requirements. Plus, as a business grows, the business will change from a sole proprietorship to a small corporation, or what is called a S corporation. The S is for small. C corporations are the big companies, such as Microsoft or Apple Computers. Or the business might change to a partnership or a limited liability company. For example, a law firm might start with only one lawyer, and as it grows, will add more lawyers. Thus, eventually turning it into a partnership or a limited liability company. And when this happens, the name of the law firm changes. When a business goes from a sole proprietorship to a corporation or a limited liability company, the name of the business might also change. Most of the time, the name change because every corporation must have a unique name or a name no other corporation has. In the 1980s, Apple Records took Apple Computer to court because of name infringement. So in the 1980s, when the man published his report saying that 80% of new businesses fail within their first 2 years, he did not take any of this into account. The only thing he did was look at the names of the business that was registered or listed with the government in 1 year. Then he looked to see if the same name of the business was still registered or listed the following year. If the name of the business was no longer registered or listed, he assumed that the business no longer existed or failed. The truth is that this method provides no information about anything. For example, in the 1970s, my father started his business in Illinois and called it RTW Enterprises. It means nothing. He just picked this name at random because he had to call it something. In the 1980s, my father's business was in Illinois and no place else. However, because of legal exposure and other reasons, he registered or listed his business 1,000 miles away in Delaware as a corporation. I did the same thing with my businesses. I tried to open a business in Arizona and Illinois. I always came close to having all the money I needed, but life happens. When one does this, in most states, such as Arizona, California, or Delaware, there is no place on the application that asks if your business was under another name. However, insurance companies might ask for this information when you apply for insurance. But because of privacy laws, they cannot give out this information. The only thing the government wants to know is the name of your business, its location, and pay them the money to register or list your business. Thus, there is no way and no methods the Small Business Administration can use to get information that will tell them if a business was a sole proprietorship and changed to a corporation, a partnership, or a limited liability company. Plus, the Small Business Administration does not publish any information regarding how many sole proprietorships changed to a corporation, a partnership, or a limited liability company. This is because they do not have this information. Thus, the method the Small Business Administration is using is the same method the man in the 1980s used, which provides no information. Now, you might say that the Small Business Administration provides business loans for people to start a business. Therefore, they might be able to get this information this way. The truth is that this is only on paper. They do not do this in practice and not in reality. The Small Business Administration does not provide loans directly. You have to get the loan through a bank. The requirements to get a business loan from the Small Business Administration are so high that the only type of businesses that qualify are established and profitable businesses. Most people get the money to start a business from their savings, a loan secured by the equity in their home, or from friends and family. Even when a business defaults on a Small Business Administration loan does not mean that the business was a failure. The owner of the business can declare bankruptcy, or the bank can force the business into bankruptcy. If a business is savable or salvable, then the court will order a professional management firm to run and operate the business until all debts are paid. And afterward, hand the business back to the owner. However, during the bankruptcy process, the business will be listed as a failure. The bankruptcy process includes the time the professional management firm is running and operating the business. Even when you look at the default rate of business loans from the Small Business Administration, even when the economy is bad, the default rate is never higher than 15%. One cannot consider the period of the pandemic in the default rate because that was a once-in-a-lifetime event. Other reasons why businesses close are the following. A business might have been very profitable, but the owner died, and this is why the business closed. A business might have been very profitable, but the owner might have found a better opportunity and closed the business because he could not do both. A business might have been very profitable, but the owner of the business might have retired and closed the business. There are many reasons why a business closed that has nothing to do with failure. So just because a business closes does not mean it was a failure. The only way to know if the business was a failure is to talk to the owner. The Small Business Administration cannot do this because the business is closed. If the business is closed means that the phone numbers have been disconnected. No phone number means no one to talk to. Thus no one to provide this information. I will talk about other misconceptions in future videos. Such as increasing interest rates will lower or stop inflation. The data does not support this. If you lower taxes for businesses, then they will have more money to create more products. They will be able to hire more people. No one runs a business like this because it is stupid. All you have to do is look at China. An increase in competition or supply will lower prices. Only an idiot will compete on price. The airline price wars of the 1980s saw many small airlines go bankrupt, and it took the big airlines years to recover. As I said in video number 1, once I start talking about this stuff it can be hard for me to stop.